Dragonslayers Rescue Mission, Squad Sparkle on the Move. Epilogue. The Canterlot Ruins. Once it was the greatest city in all of Equestria. Now it was only a shadow of its former self. After the last undead had been defeated and the last remnants of the Equestrian military who were loyal to the princess had been crushed, many refugees had begun to live in the ruins. A lone stallion wandered through the halls of what had formerly been the royal palace. There were no refugees here, since no pony who dared to enter had ever been heard of ever again. Rumors had it that the undead Princess Luna killed every trespasser, no matter if it was a pony or a griffin or a changeling. The lone stallion knew better. He had witnessed the execution of the undead things that had once been Princess Luna, even though he had not understood it at the time. He had been just a colt after all. After a while, he reached the former quarters of the Princess of the Night. The place stank even worse than the rest of Canterlot. Yet the stink of pony excrement and rot mixed with the scent of alcohol here. He reached out with his black-coated hoof and pushed the double doors open. In the middle of a pile of empty bottles lay a Pegasus stallion, whose yellow coat and pink mane were so dirty that they could hardly be recognized. The stallion's hook struck a bottle, and the one on the floor was on him in the blink of an eye, a knife between his rotten teeth. The black stallion did not fight back. He only held up a photograph in his mouth as he lay on his back, while the eyes of his attacker grew wide. "I need your help," Night Shimmer croaked hoarsely. "Why? This is impossible. They said they executed her." Candymane mumbled around the knife in his mouth. After a long minute of contemplation, he spit it out and helped Shimmer to his hoofs. "You know where she is, don't you?" Shimmer asked the former pilot of Sparkle 1. To his surprise, the other Pegasus shook his head. "No pony knows where she is. After that last battle, she just disappeared. Could be dead for all I know. I've holed up here and kept a safe place from scavengers just in case she had some ties with it. It's been 15 years, and I start to think that she didn't survive that battle after all." Candy rasped as he sat down hard, grabbing a still half-full bottle of apple whiskey and putting it to his mouth. Shimmer was a little disgusted by the smell that radiated from the former pilot, but kept his lunch where it belonged as the sweeter scent reached his nostrils. He sighed inside. He had not wanted to play that card, but it looked like he had no other chance. Stepping aside, a dark purple Pegasus mare came into view. She wore the uniform of a Slayer pilot, the symbol of Celestia's sun and Luna's moon, emblazoned on her shoulders. Her wine-red mane and tail were longer, and there was a nasty scar that ran down the length of her left flank. "You know, back in the day I would have had to report you for this kind of behavior, Candy." Mystique chuckled, taking the photograph out of Shimmer's mouth and putting it down in front of her former squad mate. "Our mission is not yet over, so where's the captain?" Mystique insisted, pointing at the photograph. Candy took another look at it. A scared-looking purple alicorn looked back at him. There were patches of her hide missing, and she was horn-locked, but the photograph seemed to be pretty recent. The display of a terminal in the background, which showed the current date and time, showed him that it was only about 5 days old. "I didn't lie. I really don't know where she is exactly, but I have a pretty good idea." No discussion time this time because there will be an extra video with background infos to this story. Sincerely yours, Visual Pony.